My name is Ozment. I'm a photographer located here in Rome, Georgia, Coosa to be exact. I've been doing photography for probably about 10 years now on a semi-professional basis. Done a lot of work with Rome Little Theater, a lot of work with local fitness competitors, a few, state of Georgia fitness competitors, a lot of bands, a lot of actors, a lot of people that are starting out in modeling. A lot of different people over the years have passed through the studio, from professional wrestlers to actors, roller derby participants.
And your work's kind of different than other photographers. You use different kinds of backdrops and things. Tell me about that.
Yeah, I've got a couple of friends that are really more established than me that constantly give me a hard time about my use of fog and fog machines in photography. I've sort of found that, with a few fog machines and some gels, you can add a lot of texture, a lot of different colors, a lot of different effects to photos. In a way, it's sort of a cheap, tacky gimmick, but on the other hand, a lot of people like it, and like I said, I just love the texture that, the atmosphere that it establishes.
And this isn't your full-time job?
No, I've got a full-time job with a agency here in Rome that is in the human services field. We basically provide support to children and families.
So what got you in, and how long have you been doing the photography thing?
I've always been I've always been into photography ever since I was a kid. I got my first camera when I was in the 7th grade. It was a Canon AE1, and I wore it out. I literally shot thousands of rolls of film, all processed at the Western on Kmart at the time, and just loved it. Years progressed, I transitioned to digital. A lot of friends, family, and all that would ask me to make pictures of kids, Christmas decorations, all sorts of things, and from there it just slowly evolved into something semi-professional. Right now I probably do 3 or 4 shoots a week. Sometimes. Right now it's sort of slow, but things start to pick up a little bit more in the spring and summer and around Christmas.
How has photography changed over the past 10, 20 years?
I think the biggest change, both for good and bad, is digital. Digital makes things a whole lot more convenient. You don't have to deal with chemicals or lengthy processing of film. You pretty much instantly know what a shot looks like that you took. It's a lot more convenient. On the downside, film has a very unique look. Digital is yet to replicate film. A lot more vintage, classic look. I'm not just talking about black and white. I'm talking about some of the color films. Also, the digital has brought in a lot of competition. A lot of people now like to rush out to Sam's Club or Walmart and buy a digital camera and immediately print business cards and think they're a photographer without devoting a whole lot of time or practice into photography. Basically, you can make great pictures with a digital camera just on the automatic settings most of the time, but there's not a whole lot of understanding about the technical aspect, about the different ISO, film speeds, aperture, shutter speed, and various factors depth of field. And I think digital, like I said, it's good and it's bad. It's made things more convenient. It's produced a lot. There's a lot more photographs in the world now as a result of digital, but we've also lost a lot. Back in my college days, I worked for the yearbook photography staff, and there were times we'd spend all night in a dark room developing film, and just the smell of the chemicals and working with a red light and all that. I really miss it, but I don't have the time, the money, or even the patience anymore to work with film.
What's the most rewarding and the biggest challenge in photography for you?
I think the most rewarding is when you take a photograph of somebody that and for the first time they're able to see themselves in a different light. They're able to see themselves, maybe somebody else sees them the way that they want to be seen. I've had certain clients come through here that they were just reluctant, apprehensive, and then they see the photos and it instantly brings tears. I didn't realize I could look like that, and that's not saying that we've done extensive Photoshop work or editing or whatever. It's just a little bit of knowledge about lights and posing, and and how to make people comfortable, how to make somebody feel at ease. That's probably the biggest satisfactions. What was the other question? Frustrations?
Yeah.
I guess the flip side of that coin is every now and then you will deal with a person that's just so, I guess, so jaded and so self-critical that no photo of them you're going to make is going to make them happy, and they just basically don't like themselves. I had one young lady I worked with a while back, several years ago. She finally told me, I don't like any of these pictures. They were multiple individuals, but all of her photos, I don't like any of these. I don't like my face. And finally, we realized that she didn't like her face. There was nothing that we can do, to change that. It was, I guess, her own self-perception, and it would, it's just a frustrating thing to deal with.
And then finally, if anybody wants to look at modeling photos or other kind of photos, how can they get in touch with you?
My website is Chris Ozment Photography. that is ChrisOzmentPhotography.com. You can Google me. I'm on Facebook. If you're in Rome, you type my name in the search engine, I'll probably pop up, and we'll probably have half a dozen at least mutual friends. I've lived here my whole life, and pretty much, I guarantee you, I know somebody that knows you if you grew up here.